This is what my bike sounds like with a GoPro. This is what my bike sounds like with an external microphone. So I wonder how it's going to sound with this. Will it sound like this? Stick around. Hello, if you're new to the channel, I'm Patrick from Type 1 and I am a biker and a production engineer. My job usually is to make sure that all audio, lighting and video systems are working perfectly in a live event environment. As a production engineer, I've always been curious on how people are recording their motorbikes whilst they're doing their vlogs or if they're doing a promo piece. And I've seen little tiny microphones that are sticking out of the helmets or picked up in the helmet comms mic even. People have used external sound recorders wrapped up in a million pairs of socks. And I've also seen people using super high-end professional microphones built solely for that purpose, and they all produce, I think, a pretty good result. So today I wanted to create the biggest sound possible I could out of my completely stock Ninja, and I'm going to do that the only way I know best, and that is to mic it up like I would mic up a drum kit. That sounds a bit odd, but bear with me, there is method to this madness, and it does have an interesting outcome. So let's see what happens. To achieve our sound, I've broken down the bike sounds into 3 sections, and we have a bundle of mics here to help capture each section. We have a Sennheiser E602, a couple of Sennheiser E604s, and a couple of generic pencil condensers. Let me explain what each microphone is and what it's doing. The Sennheiser E602 is normally used on kick drums and bass instruments. I'm going to place this near the exhaust, which should give us some nice deep low end. The Sennheiser E604s are generally used to pick up snares and toms on a drum kit. I'm going to place these near the top of the tank facing down into the engine. I'm hoping this will give us some grunty energy that you hear as the rider. I'm using 2 of these to create a stereo image. And last but not least, I'm going to use these pencil condensers. These are generally used to pick up cymbals, brass instruments, etc. Here we're going to be picking up the machine or mechanical noise of the bike. Again, I'm using 2 of these to help with that fat stereo image. Okay, now all the microphones are around the bike, let's switch it on and see how we can get our low notes. Right, so as we're starting to get into the audio processing, I recommend that you listen through some good quality headphones or full range speakers. So we're going to start with the low end, and I'll boost around the 40 to 60 Hertz area to really get that deep tone. And I'm going to remove the rest of the mid and high frequencies as they'll be looked after with the other microphones in a second. So now you can hear everything's been taken out and we are left with just the low end. Excellent, that's that dialed in. Let's have a listen to see what that sounds like. Cool, so now we're on to the grunt of the motorbike, which is picked up by the mics hanging off the handlebars facing downwards into the engine. Because we have 2 microphones here, I'm going to pan them left and right to give us some width and a stereo image. I'm going to take out the low end because that's already been taken care of with the previous mic. I'm going to pick out some nice low mid to mid frequencies, give it a bit of a different flavour. I'm going to give each microphone a slightly different EQ so that we hear different things in each ear to further bulk out the bike's sound. Let's hear a bit of revs to see how that sounds. Okay, so now we're onto the top end of the bike, which is the metallic zingy machine noise, or whatever you'd like to call it. You can already hear the difference between these and the previous mics. Again, there's two of these, so we're going to pan left and pan right. As before, we're going to take a lot of the low end and mid frequencies. We don't need them in these microphones. There's the fans. I'm just dialing these in, and similarly to the 604s picking up the grunt, I've given each mic a slightly different EQ to make it sound bigger. Now you may be thinking, that sounds god-awful, and in truth, in isolation, they do. But we'll see the magic in a moment, so let's hear what these sound like. There we go. So we have all our microphones in place and they're tuned to the frequencies that they're going to be picking up. The next thing we're going to do is listen to all of these microphones playing together. I've placed the faders where I think I want them to be and how I expect it to sound. So let's switch the bike back on and see what this gives us. There goes my fans again. It's a warm day today and the bike's been running on and off for a while. Okay, let's see what that sounds like with a few revs. Sounds great, doesn't it? Now, this isn't something that's practical to take around with you, and it was just purely for a bit of fun. You could be in a controlled environment and, you know, get every single frequency that you wanted out of your bike to make it, you know, to the extreme. But you can hear maybe in the background there's people in their gardens, there's people hoovering, there's people everywhere, so this isn't a controlled environment whatsoever. But what we have done is made this completely stock Ninja sound pretty beefy, so I'm happy with that. With that being said, I am going to try and find a place to put one of these microphones. Now this is the E604, which we used to pick up the grunt of the engine today. I love the sounds that it picked up, and I love the idea of this being clipped onto the bike somewhere. So this will be clipped onto my bike for when we do our trip in June. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep you updated with that. I don't know if you can tell, but me and Andrea really miss our jobs that we love to do. Due to the pandemic, both me and Andrea have not been able to do our proper jobs for the entirety of last year and this year. So we are missing it terribly. I don't know if you can tell. So it would be amazing if you guys out there give us a like and subscribe and hit that bell button to keep up with all our up-to-date and latest videos. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, please stay safe, rubber side down, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.